Hey everybody, it's me. Welcome back to the channel, and here's my quick review and then some spoiler talk about Alien Romulus. Now, truth be told, I lived through the first Alien. The first Alien was an absolutely perfect film. Perfect. Aliens was just an action fun movie that was still really, really great, but I didn't think it was better than the first movie. The first movie was the best. So, Alien Romulus. I'm not even gonna talk about the other movies. Nobody really cares at this point about that. But Alien Romulus, I'm gonna give you a quick score, and then I'm gonna give you an advice of whether you should go see it or not, and then I'm gonna talk about spoilers. Real quick though. Okay, so what do I give it for a score? I'm gonna give it a 60. 60%. Now, you might think that's not very high. Why would you recommend go see it? Because I kind of do. The sound design, the special effects, especially all the practical effects, I'm sure if you've looked at any of the trailers you've seen, they did a great job on that. It's worth seeing in the theater, but I wouldn't just be like, oh my God, you gotta go see it tonight. Oh God, it's been out for a week already, whatever. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go into the spoilers now of why I gave it a 60. First of all, the good. Generally, the special effects, like I just said, the special effects, the practical effects, the feel, and how they kept everything consistent with the original film is spectacular. And here's also the sad part. I was watching this film for the first 30, 35 minutes. I was thinking this was gonna be like a 9, maybe even a 9.5. I'm like, this is awesome. I was like looking around at people, reacting to everything. And then all the things happened where it kind of just fell apart. And it's not like it's a terrible movie. I don't want you to come across, or I don't want to come across as thinking that it's a terrible movie. It's not. It's decent. It's okay. You can watch it. You can go see it in the theater if that's your thing and you're really an Alien fan. But if you are, you probably already went and saw it. Okay, so let me go into some of the things and why I'm giving it only a 60. So like I said, how it looks and the consistency, and using the old like CRT monitors and the terrible font on the computer screens and everything, they kept that all consistent, and they had a lot of little Easter eggs that were great and you could see, but it didn't interfere with the story. So the first thing that I'm going to say that was bad was they had one character in particular of these like young kids in this movie that was so obnoxious. He was so unlikable that it was annoying. He was just annoying. And they did have some really good acting in this as well, so that's another positive. But what happened was that they tried to throw in some things from the old movies, old games, and it was such a slap in the face. It was not appropriate. They should not have done it. So here, we're into spoiler territory. So in Aliens, when Sigourney Weaver is in the loader and she goes, "Get away from her, you bitch," before the big, huge, gigantic scene, the fight scene, they used that same thing in this movie and it didn't make any sense. It was like they threw it in there to reference that movie, but it didn't make any sense. And it was like, that was just dumb. And even the people in the theater that I was in, they all kind of went, oh, like, why did you do that? It didn't make any sense. Easter eggs are great if they're used, sparingly and not thrown in your face like, check this out. And that's what that felt like. Okay, so another one was, for the most part, the CGI and everything was great, but they had Brock back in home as Ash. He wasn't Ash, he was a different guy's name. But that part was really, really bad. And it would have been maybe okay if they just used him sparingly, but he just became so much part of the movie and continued to be in the movie. Instead of just being like a little character thing that happened and then move on from there, that would have been fantastic. Didn't happen. It was overused, terrible CGI, not very good. I'm gonna go through a couple positives and negatives as well. There's a scene, if you've seen it in one of the trailers, where like there is like alien blood floating in zero gravity. That was a great scene, very cool, very interesting. But one of the other things, I hate when movies do things that take you out of it. And everybody's used to the stupidity of some characters in movies where they do something stupid. The joke is like, hey, there's a guy chasing us. Let's go hide behind all of the knives and the chainsaws over here. That kind of a thing. Well, there was a scene in this where the face huggers, they're trying to be super, super quiet. Again, spoilers, super, super quiet, right? And so he gets a communication, and instead of going and creating all this tension and being like, by the way, I'm not just gonna tell you why this sucked. I'm gonna give you a solution to it. He answers the communication. and then proceeds to talk to the girl, trying to be quiet and talk to her and tell her what to do, and oh, there's got to be a key around there, so on and so forth, while you know that the facehuggers are attracted to your sound of your voice. They are coming to you because of that. And it was like so dumb that it was just like, why did you do that? And so my solution to that was he could have just like, he could have heard a little beep and go, ooh, and then look around, see the facehuggers, and the girl could be trying to talk in. He could grab the microphone and try to squeeze it to muffle it, and then run. And then all of a sudden, the whole action scene that happens anyway would have happened naturally, and it would have made sense. But it was just so dumb. And people whose life and limb is on the line, they wouldn't be making that kind of a mistake. Anyway, so at the end, there's a thing that happens, and I'm not going to go into the complete spoiler of it, but there was a pregnant girl, some things happen, and so on and so forth, and she just happens to inject herself with the stuff from the other movies. That was kind of like, why would you do that? And then this whole finale happens. And it's just, everybody in the movie theater was kind of like, you're going a little too far. Now, whether you wanted to go there or not, I don't think it would have been as horrible if the creature looked better, and also if you hadn't done those other things that brought the film down. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But like I said, I'm giving the movie a 60 because it was well acted. I'm almost more disappointed because I thought it was gonna be great, and they just didn't pull it off. Should you go see it? If you haven't seen it by now, if there's nothing else to do, it's not a bad watch. And I think that people who maybe even haven't seen the old ones might go and go, why did he say that line or whatever? But it won't be as distracting. It is for people who actually care about the franchise, who have watched all the movies and enjoyed them on one level or another. But that's about it. Anyway, before you go, do me a favor, smash that like button, beat the crap out of it, do the subscribe button. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.